Hiya, only me again. Unfortunately, I've had to start filming on my phone because the battery on my GoPro has already gone flat. And I've literally been here for about 2 hours. So yeah, not that impressed with that one really. I'll have to see if there's any settings or anything I can change to see if I can make it last a bit longer. But yeah, I haven't really been able to film my digging because of that, and I didn't really want to come all the way back to my bag to get my phone until I needed to. But you haven't missed much because I haven't really found anything at all. After that big iron which I found, I have literally had a shotgun shell, just some scrap bits of metal and some copper, just a load of rubbish really, not a lot at all. So I basically have made a couple more sweeps along here, and then I have started going up and down the field here, which you can probably just see my spade over there. And yeah, not really found a lot. So I'm going to have a quick bite to eat, keep the energy up, and then I'm going to try and go over this side of the field, which you can just see through the hedge here. And just have a little wander in there. It flattens out a bit at the top, so I might have a bit more luck up there. Yeah, and we'll see if we get anything. So as I say, I'm going to try and record everything on my phone now. I'm determined to make a video today because it is such a nice day, and hopefully we'll actually find something. So I'll see you in a bit. Okay, so we're back again, and it's the first hole after my lunch. So I've just dug the hole and it is saying that it's out, so let's have a look and see what we've got. It's quite a nice signal. So it was quite a loud signal, which usually means it's quite near to the top. And oh wow, there you go, there it is already. It looks like it's something quite big. Yeah, it's just one of those strange items that I have no idea really what it is, but it looks like it's some sort of farming remnants or something like that. It's attached to 2 pieces of wood, which are these bits here, and then you've just got this, so it looks like some sort of form of strap or something to keep something on, but nothing great. Really loud signal though. Let's go on to the next one. Okay, so we're back again. Second good signal after my lunch, and we've literally just come along this old field boundary here. Other signals over there somewhere, I think, and then we've just walked up here to go into the top half of the field and got another signal. So let's have a look. I think it's already out of the ground. Oh wow, yeah. So it's in there. I think I can see something poking out. Just dropped it down there, and it's an old coin. See the patina on it there, just coming through, and Britannia on the back, although very worn. And I'm sure if I'm to look on the bottom of it, there'll probably be a date, but my guess is that's probably sort of 1800s, early 1900s, something like that. Unfortunately, these very rarely come out of the ground, as you know, in good condition, but I'll give it a clean up later and just see what I can find. Okay, so I've literally walked about 3 steps to where that field boundary was there, and I've got a really nice signal here. Don't know if you can hear that. So it's in there, so we'll give it a dig and see what we've got. Really nice and soft the mud is here, because it's been raining for so long. This is the first dry day in ages, but yeah, it still means the ground's still nice and soft, and just scanning. Don't know if you can hear that. can see it as well. Here it is. It's another coin. All around this field boundary. All the old field boundary anyway. So this here looks like a 1p, a 1 penny. Again, you can see the green patina on it. I don't know if you can see that because the light's pretty bad, but that looks like a George to me. So again, that's probably early 1900s, that one. But I can't see the date on it, so I'll have to clean it up and let you know on that one. Alright, so back again. Just walked from the field boundary, which is down there. Cracking view of the church from here actually. And just thought I'd show you this little surface find, which is an old spoon handle, I think. See, it's got the decoration on it. It's not metal or anything like that. It's pewter, I think. Sorry, which isn't metal, but it's not like a precious metal or anything like that. But yeah, that's a nice little surface find. Again, quite modern, which is all I really seem to be finding in this field, to be honest. But it's still early days, and there is something in every field, I'm sure. So let's crack on. Okay, so just had another signal here. Obviously walked along that hedgerow there, up there, and then I walked along here, and I've just had this one, which sounds quite nice. And it's already out, it's in this bit here, I think. Just turn on the old pin pointer. Yeah, so I mean, it's quite near to the top actually, to be fair. Which is always the way, you go digging out a huge bit of mud, and then you find out it's just lying on the top. Let's see if I can find out what it is. Right, where's it gone now? Alright, so it's on here, and it is, don't know if you can see because it's quite dark, here. It actually looks like another coin. It actually looks like a threepenny bit. You can sort of tell with the like the hexagonal corners going all the way around it, and it's about the right thickness for one as well. But again, without rubbing it and ruining anything that's probably left on it, I'm not really going to be able to tell for sure, but yeah, I reckon that's a threepenny bit. Dropped it again. So I mean, yeah, there's coins in this field. A lot of modern coins, to be fair, which obviously suggests that it's been farmed a lot within the last sort of 200 years, but hopefully we'll find something a bit older. Right, on to the next one. Okay, so got another signal, dug the hole, and I found this, which at first it was lying like that in the ground, and I saw it shining at me, and I was like, oh, this is good. And then I picked it up, gave it a little clean, and realised it's an old car door handle, which somebody has lost in the ground. So yeah, nothing tremendously exciting, but if anyone knows the owner to that car that's looking for a handle, then can send me a message below. Okay, so just dug another signal rather, and as you can see, it was another big iron, but it's an old buckle, this one, and it's quite big, as you can see, which suggests to me that this one's probably an old horse strap buckle, which has obviously fallen off and just got lost, probably from when the field was ploughed ages ago. But yeah, it's quite cool, that one. It was quite a strange signal, to be honest, and it was one that I just had to dig. It was a bit scratchy, but I thought, you know, I'm just going to see what it is anyway. And yeah, and that's what it was. So on to the next one. Okay, only me again. Another signal. Dug it out, as you can see, and what popped out was another coin. Again, doesn't look very old, this one. It's a George, So again, early 1900s. Really nice picture actually of Britannia there. I don't know if you can see that. And it's a 1 penny. And I should be able to get the date off this one if I clean it up just lightly. I think that says 1947, which would be about right. That's yeah, very much into the George period, that one. Very near the end as well actually. So there you go. I might actually be able to clean that one up quite nicely. Good find, good save. On to the next one. Okay, so just done another hole, and looks like I have found the other part of that spoon handle that was on the surface down there. It looks exactly the same. It's pewter. The size of it would be absolutely perfect for that handle. So it just goes to show how far the plough can drag stuff, because I'm up here by the gate, and that spoon handle was probably about halfway down there, so about here, somewhere like that, which is quite far. I mean, that's probably about 30-40 feet, I reckon. So yeah, there we go, the mystery is solved. I have found it. Let's see if we can find something a bit better. Okay, back again. Just had another signal just further along from that spoon bowl, and I thought I'd just let you have a listen to it, 'cause it's a really nice signal, this one. I don't know if you can hear that. Definitely to me sounds like a coin or something like that, so it's just got that nice rounded tone to it. So I'll give it a dig and we'll find out what it is. Alright, so back again, just dug out the hole, as you can see. Let's find out where it is. Oh wow. Right, so it says it's in there somewhere. Let's see if we can find it. No, it's not in that bit. Let's use the pinpointer again. That's what it's for. Let's use it. Alright. It's a bit of lead. Definitely looks like a piece of lead. It's not a bottle plug or anything like that. Doesn't really have much shape to it. I don't think there's any markings on it. Ooh, just dropped it. But yeah, it's just a piece of lead. It's a nice signal. Shame it's not a coin or anything, but at least we know what it is. Let's go on to the next one. Back again, another signal, another hole, and I've already dug it, as you can see, and this little thing popped out here. And it's one of those little discs with the square hole in the middle. I've never really known what they're for, to be honest with you. Obviously something used to poke out the top there, so you can see that. Yeah, like that. Something used to poke through there. It's got a slight dome to it as well. So yeah, if anyone knows what they are, then comment below, because I've always really wondered what they are. Find loads of them. Alright, on to the next one. Only me again. Right, so I've walked on a little bit further. It's been quite a while actually since I've found anything decent. And I've come down towards the hill a bit more. I'm just sort of walking around here really. And I've come across quite a nice little surface find actually. I haven't actually had a look at it yet, and I thought I would film it as I go, but to me this looks like a pocket watch. Quite an old pocket watch. I don't know, it's quite cool though, isn't it? can still see some of the workings and stuff in there, although it's full of mud. I think it's a pocket watch anyway, not really too sure. But yeah, that's pretty good. Not a bad little surface find, that one. I'll definitely give it a clean up later and see if I can see anything on it. But yeah, cool, let's go on. Okay, only me again. Couple of paces on from the surface find pocket watch thing. I've got another signal, so I've just dug the hole. Haven't actually located it yet. Yeah, there it is in there. As you can hear, it's quite loud. So let's have a look and see what it is. Doesn't sound particularly great, but some of them just don't. Okay, so it's not in that. No, it's not in any of those. Probably come a bit loose, I think. What's that? Is that a stone? Yeah, it's a stone. Right, so we'll get the pin pointer and see if we can find it. Right, so it's in there, and it is just a crushed loop. It's one of those old sort of copper loops. Find them a lot in fields, to be honest with you. Don't really know what they were for, to be honest, but they're not very old. Always get quite a nice signal though, so always got to dig those. But yeah, not that great, and we'll go on to the next one. It's quite nice and blue over there, but over here now it's looking a little bit grey, so hoping the rain's going to ease off. It's not forecasted rain for today, so hopefully it stays dry and we'll get a few more hours in. But yeah, on to the next one. Right, back again. Just had another signal. There's the hole, and found the target already, which is this one, and it looks like an old horse brass. Oh, it's got a pattern on the front of it, so not really too sure. Let's give it a little rub. Yeah, I don't really know what that is, to be honest. Pattern wise, it's quite obscure really, but yeah, looks like an old horse brass, that one, so it's quite a nice find. I'll pop it in the bag, give it a clean up later, and hopefully we'll find some more stuff. Alright, excuse me, back again. Just had another signal now. It's probably been a good sort of 10-15 minutes really since I had another good signal since that last one. It's quite quiet up here, if I'm honest with you, a lot more quieter than what I would have anticipated it to be. But just had a signal down here, which is about sort of middle of the way down the slope of the top half of this field, and dug the hole and I found it, but I need to find it again now. Let me have a look. Where is it? Let me get the pin pointer. Can't be that hard to find, surely. Right. Okay, there you go. Cool, so it is a musket ball, and it was a really nice signal, to be fair. It was really solid. I knew it was going to be something good, if not a lead item. But yeah, that's an unfired musket ball. Size of it's probably a pistol shot, something like that, so that's got to be sort of circa Civil War era, so I'd imagine that's probably 1700, something like that, which is probably the oldest thing I've found in these fields so far today. So I'm quite chuffed with that. I do like finding musket balls. You know, I find a lot of them in the fields that I detect on, but yeah, they're always quite interesting. I've got a huge bag of them at home. I don't really know what to do with it, to be fair. It seems to be quite good at holding doors open and stuff like that, so maybe I'll just make something out of it one day. But yeah, no, another musket bore to the collection. See if we can find something else. Okay, back again. So just dug another signal, and it is in this bit here. So let's just grab my detector, bring it a bit closer, let you hear it. Oh, there you go. Look at that. So it's just a little strap buckle, little strap fastener. Probably not that old. But yeah, it's cool little find. I'll add it to the rest of them, and let's see if we can find something else. Okay, back again. So got another signal, and I've just dug it out, and apparently it's in this little lot somewhere. So I'm going to use my pin pointer and try and find it. Okay, so it's saying it's in there somewhere, and it's that. So let's have a look at what this is. Looks quite interesting. Basically, it seems to be like a copper alloy bowl with something poking out the top, which is really interesting. I've never ever found anything like that before. Yeah, I don't really know what that is. I'll probably have to go under a bit of investigation later, I think. But there's something poking out of the top of it there, which seems to wiggle around a little bit. So yeah, very strange one that. Nice signal though. So I'll pop it in the bag and I'll clean it up later and let you know if it's anything any good. Okay, on to the next one. Alright, so back again. I'm still on the same hole that I found that strange little round thing on, and I've just given it a little bit more of a clean up, and the thing that was poking out the top was actually a little bit of wood, and I've just realised what it is. I think it's one of those things that farmers used to put on the tips of like bulls' horns, so that they didn't get sort of skewered by them when they were herding them. I have seen these found before actually on other people's videos, so I'm quite sure that that's what it is. They just put that on the end of the horn, and then obviously you've got a sort of a rounded end to it then, so it's not going to do as much damage. But yeah, quite chuffed with that actually. That's quite cool. It's not old, but it's interesting. Alright, on to the next one. Right, back again. Dug another hole, and already found out what it is, because it literally fell out of the plug as I picked it up because it's so heavy. But that is a lead jug plug. So you know, for everyone that doesn't know, they used to get sort of cracks or holes in their wares, so drinking vessels, cooking pots, those sorts of things, and then rather throw them away because they were so expensive back then, it was easier just to melt a piece of lead like this. So this would have been on the outside, and then that bit there would have gone inside the actual vessel, and just plugged it up and just stopped it from leaking. Obviously back then they weren't really bothered about lead poisoning or anything like that, and to be honest they didn't really even know about it. But yeah, so that's one of those. Not a bad little find. That'll go in my lead pile with the rest of it. But yeah, nice little bit of history that, and I will stick that in the bag and we'll see what else we can find. Alright, back again. So I just had another signal, and it's just popped out now. I found it with a pin pointer, and it's actually another one of those bullhorn guards. It's exactly the same as the other one, it's just been a bit more crushed, this one, so it's probably been rolled around with the plough for quite a while. But yeah, another one exactly the same size as well. So that's quite cool. So we definitely know there was bulls in here at one point, and quite glad that they're not in here today. Although if they were, I've got 2 of these now, so at least I'm safe from one. Yeah, cool. All right, let's see what else we can find. Right, back again. Just had another signal, dug the hole, and it was a really strange sound actually. It was like it was telling me that it was like a big iron or something like that. But you know, I am a person of chance, so I always dig them just to see what it is. And pulled it out the ground, and it's this. So it's got a handle on the side here, and you can kind of see by the profile there that it is very round, circular shape, and you can see a rim actually up here as well. So my guess is this is probably a part of an old cooking pot, or something like that. It's just a fragment of it. It's quite thin, seems to be made out of iron, but yeah, that is probably like an old cooking pot or something to heat up water with, or something like that. Although I wouldn't want to pick it up with that handle if it got hot, but that's my best guess with that one anyway. So yeah, quite interesting. Glad I dug it really, because like I say, it's always worth knowing what it is under there. And if I ever get that signal again, then I'll probably dig it again, to be honest. But cool, let's see if we can find anything else. Okay, back again. So I've got another hole here. Quite a good signal on this one. Dug it out, and I saw something nice and shiny in the plug here. So let's have a little look at what this is. Oh. Well, that's quite interesting. It's quite an old pen. It's got a nice bit of gilding on the outside of it. It's a little bit bent, unfortunately. I don't know if it's supposed to be like that, actually. Have a look. It's also got some writing up here. Let's have a look, see what it says. It says, guaranteed 14 carat rolled gold. Oh wow. Rolled gold. Does that actually mean it's gold gilded then? It's quite heavy. Well, that's quite cool. It's got a really nice bit of decoration on the top there. But yeah, that's quite interesting. That's if it is rolled gold, I mean, I don't actually know what that means, but I can only imagine it's like a gold leaf or something that they must coat it with. 14 carat. Wow. Huh. That's quite cool. I'm actually in the bottom field now. I've come from the top field up there, which I didn't really find a lot, to be honest. Mostly all modern within the last sort of 100 years and stuff like that. So I just thought I'd walk down the hedgerow this side. You can see the sun setting there now. It's about 4:30, and it's the wind's picked up a bit. It's certainly getting a bit colder, but you know, it's still not too bad for a February. Yeah, so I walked down the hedge there, and then came along here, and that's where I picked up this. Huh, cool. That's really cool. I'll give it a clean up and show you a bit later on. But yeah, it's kind of gold. You know, it's worth a quarter of a dance at least, or a roll. I'll do a roll. That makes sense. Cool. All right, catch you in a bit. All right, back again. So probably about a couple of minutes on from my rolled gold pen, and just got another signal. It's quite nice, this one as well. It's got a nice rounded, solid tone to it. It's in this bit here, so I'll let you listen to it. yeah, it can't get any nicer than that really. So let's have a look, see if we can find it. Okay, so if you look there, you'll see a nice shiny rim, and I can pretty much guarantee it's going to be another penny by the size of it. Let's have a look. It is, no, it's probably a half penny. There you go. It shows you shouldn't make any assumptions until you've got all of the mud and crud off it. I can actually see a date there as well. It says 1935. So that will be King George, which hopefully we can see him on the back somewhere. I don't want to rub it too much because it looks like there's quite a bit of detail on this one, so I'll give it a clean up later, and we'll have a look at it then. But oh, cool, there's certainly a little bit more in the bottom half of this field, and we'll keep on going and see if we can find anything more. Probably got about another sort of 3/4 of an hour left of daylight, so yeah, I'll see what else we can find. Alright, on to the next one. Alright, back again. I've literally moved on a couple of footsteps from that half penny, and I've got like a double signal here. I'll let you listen to it. So that's definitely two separate signals quite close together, and I was just having a look actually on the top here, and you can just see some green patina coming out of the ground. So let's just pick it out and have a look. So another coin, without a doubt. Definitely a 1 penny this time. Not a lot of detail left on that one, I'm afraid. You can just see young Queen Victoria on there, with the bun, so that's got to be sort of 1950s, something like that, 1940s, late 1940s, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to get a date off it. I'll try without ruining it. No, don't think there's anything on there, but that's cool. That's another penny, and let's just see if there is another signal beside it whilst we're here. Just stick that in the bag so I don't lose it. No, the other one's gone. So it was just one signal. I think it was because it was on its side, it was just giving me like a slight double beep really. But that's cool, that's another penny to the pot. Every little helps, as they say. And let's move on to the next one. Right, back again, probably about another minute from that last penny, and just got another signal in here, quite close to the hedgerow actually, near where the gate is, where I came in. And yeah, let's have a look, see what it is. So I think, if I remember, it's in that one. Oh yeah, so it's a really nice clean signal, as you can hear, which probably means it's like a coin or a button or something like that, or a thing, a root vegetable. No, it's not that. Okay, so it's in this little hand. Right, so it's now in that bit. No, it's not in that bit. What is that? Silver. It's a silver sixpence. Silver sixpence. Which will make it George. Yeah, George V. And the date of that should be about 1940 something, I would imagine. Where are the date on these? I can't remember. Oh, I think it's on his side, isn't it? It's on on the bus side. Oh, I just made that up, I don't really know. Oh no, it's on the shield, isn't it? Oh, dropped it. Where is it? Don't know. I always thought it was like the 19 that side, and then whatever it was on the other side as well, but no, can't seem to find a date on it. But cool, that's a silver. Okay, only me again. So I am back at home now, as you can probably tell, and I've cleaned up all my finds. Well, to be fair, I've cleaned up the ones that I thought were the most interesting anyway, and I thought we'd go through them and just have a quick look. So we've got quite a few pennies, as you can see. So we've got 1, 2, 3 and 4, so that's 4 1-penny pieces. Let's see if I can just get my camera to focus. There we go. So there's George and Britannia. There it is, and there is a date on here, which is 1936. So that's that one. I've also got another one here. Let's see if we can see the date on this one. No, I couldn't see the date on that one. That was probably the worst one out of all of them. However, on the back is Victoria. So that's probably 1800s, late 1800s, that one. Judging by the condition, how worn it is as well, I'd suggest that that date's probably spot on. Next up, we've got... come on, focus. It's going to focus. Well, there you go. Right, cool. So that's another 1p, 1941 on that one. And then the last one, which is this one, is 1922, I think. And again, George there on the rear as well. The other coins that I've got here is this tiny little halfpenny, which is Queen Elizabeth II. Couldn't get a date off that one, but I know that they were around sort of in the 1950s and a bit before and a little bit after that. So that's quite cool, quite in good condition. Also, I've got a modern 1-penny, and I've got the halfpenny, which I found out in the field, and that's dated 1935. There we go, and on the back, George again. What else have I got here? So I've also got the disc with the square hole in the middle of it. And again, you know, if anyone knows what that is, then feel free to leave a message and enlighten me, because I do find loads of them, so it'd be nice to find out exactly what they're for. I've got the musket ball, which we found earlier on camera. Probably the oldest thing out of that entire field today. As I say, I reckon that's probably 1700s, judging by the size of it. So cool, yeah, I've got that one. Also got this little button, and if you can see on the front of it, I'll just see if I can get it to focus, but it's got like a sort of, I don't know, I think it's like a tree or something like that. Yeah, and that's the back of it. Still got the sort of loop intact, which is quite cool. I've got another little button. Not much decoration on the front of that one. Oh, just dropped it. And on the back, you can see that it's a little bit gilded in there as well, so that would have been a nice sort of decorative button at one point. Also, I found after the camera had cut out, or the battery went rather, this really cool little buckle, which I reckon is probably late, I don't know, it's just got a Tudory look to it, so it could be late Tudor, could be anything really. 18th, 19th century, maybe a little bit earlier. But yeah, that was quite cool. I was chuffed with that. What else have I got? I've got the cow horn protector. Okay, so I also found, after the battery went flat as well, this little tag. And when it was in the ground and it was shining at me, I thought it was a huge silver, and I was really chuffed. And then I took it out and I saw the hole at the top, and then I looked at it and it had a name on this side, which is Campbell, and then on the other side just loads of numbers. Don't know if you can see them there. Yeah, so that's obviously who the animal belonged to, I would imagine, and then that's the animal's identification. So whether it's a cow or a sheep or something, it's probably from that, I would imagine. So again, sort of very much farming history, but quite a cool little find. And then I found the silver, which was the one without a date on it, and I've had a look now, and I can basically see 1921 on this one. Oh, let's get it into view for you. After a clean-up, I was able to find the date, and it was either side of the shield, as I suggested, or the crown with the lion on. And there's the back of it. So a nice George. Bearing in mind the date on that one, it should actually be a nice silver content as well, because I think it was very shortly after that the silver got liquidated down quite a lot, and obviously they had to put different metals in them. But that should be quite good. And also, literally, when the camera battery went flat, I also found another one. And there he is again, it's George. It's the same period. This one's quite bent and buckled, as you can see from the plough. And again, the date on this one is 1916. So yeah, silver again. So chuffed with that. Two of those in one day, very close to each other as well. So could very possibly have come out of the same pocket. But that's that one. And also I've got the rolled gold pen. There it is, cleaned up. So as I thought earlier, it's very much a gold gilding on it, and it must be a gold leaf. It says up the top here, as we saw earlier in the field, it says guaranteed 14 carat rolled gold. And it's nice and decorative. It's really heavy. I have no idea why there are two bits hanging out the end of it. God knows. It's not going to be used as a pen anymore, that's for sure. But yeah, I'm quite chuffed with that. It's quite an interesting find. I mean, I don't think it's very old. I mean, that's definitely sort of 20th century, I would imagine. But I can imagine whoever lost that was pretty annoyed, because, you know, if you think of the cost of a Parker pen or something nowadays, and how much this probably would have cost back then, see the decoration at the top there. Yeah, I'd be pretty annoyed if I'd lost that. I get annoyed when somebody takes my cheap Bic pen now. So, you know, if I'd have lost that, then I think I probably would have gone looking for it. But whether they did or they didn't, they didn't find it. And I found it. So, ha. But yeah, cool. Happy with that. So that is all of my finds. It's been a really good day. As I said, it's I've been waiting ages to get into that field, and I put in about 7.5 hours today, so it's been quite long. But I always like to do a roundup with everything I find in the field, really. And I think, you know, the question to ask from these finds is, you know, what do we learn about the history of that field? And I pretty much covered a good, well, it must be more than 60% of that field today. Most of the stuff I found was modern. It was within the last 100 years. A lot of farming machinery, parts of farming machinery, old buckles. You know, I've no doubt there's like shoe horses and things in there, maybe further down. But yeah, I mean, from this, I would suggest that medieval history, absolutely nothing, and before then, well, you know, it might be deep enough or deeper, too deep for my metal detector to go. But from the finds, I would suggest that most of the occupation or working occupation or whatever the field has been used for has mainly been used within the last 100 to 200 years. Whether or not when it gets ploughed next time it brings up deeper stuff, I know he has ploughed it quite a few times, so I was expecting at least some deeper older stuff to come up, but it wasn't to be this time. And as I say, it is quite a good site to go with the church and things like that. So I would definitely go back there again and just see what else I can pick out of the field. And as I say, I got the two silvers here, so it certainly wasn't a wasted day. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you very much for watching. I know it's been a bit of a mishmash because this is my first video. And I will try to film some more of my digs for you in the future if you would like me to. Alright, thanks very much, take care.